Everything I've seen, it's from what I'm seeing, I don't think this is self-inflicted.
You think I did this? I know I failed. I know that.
Hey, wake up, honey, please wake up, honey.
That is Heather Fernandez, 47 years old, a third-grade teacher from Farmington, New Mexico. And the man she is begging to wake up is her husband of 3 months. The police are already in the room, and they are not buying a single word. November 29, 2020, 3 days after Thanksgiving, Heather calls 911 and tells the dispatcher that her husband Robert came home, went to the computer room, and stabbed himself with a steak knife. She found him on the bedroom floor in the early hours of the morning. She cleaned up his wounds. She thought they looked superficial, so she went back to sleep. Robert Hofer was 49 years old. They had been married for exactly 3 months. When detectives arrive at the scene, something is immediately wrong. There is no blood in the computer room where Heather says it happened. The knife is nowhere to be found.
From what we have, we know what happened, okay? And this is your opportunity to tell us the truth about what happened, okay? Because what you told me last time, none of the evidence that we processed matches with what you're telling us. So I know what happened to Robert. I just don't know why it happened to him. This is your time to tell me why.
I'm gonna need an attorney.
Okay.
The wounds on Robert's body are not superficial, and the blood on the mattress tells a completely different story about where he actually died. Heather talks to detectives for over an hour that morning. She is calm, she is cooperative, and her story changes, quietly, carefully, almost every time she tells it. But here is what makes this case unlike almost anything you will see. Detectives could not arrest her that day. The evidence was there, but not enough. So Heather Fernandez walked out of that police station, went back to her life, went back to her classroom, taught third grade for 5 more years. And then on April 1st, 2025, detectives showed up at her school. In front of the children she taught every day.
What do I have a warrant for?
For homicide.
You guys really had to arrest me right in front of the kids that I work with.
Well,
Come on, guys.
nobody's here.
No, but I still have kids in the cafeteria.
What did investigators find in 5 years of work that they didn't have that first morning? What does Heather say when detectives sit her down in 2025 and tell her, "We know what happened, we just don't know why"? Watch how the same woman who cried over her husband's body in 2020 responds when she realizes the investigation never stopped. And watch what detectives found that finally brought her back to that room. Why would a newlywed teacher go this far, just 3 months into a marriage she had chosen? The answers are somewhere in these interrogations, and so is the moment everything she had been holding together for 5 years finally runs out.
This is going on my 7th year.
7th year. Okay, good.
It's so weird because I had to go by the, 14, 15,
Uh-huh.
how the school year runs.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Well, this has been a particularly hard year
Oh, yeah.
for everybody, and especially for you guys, for school teachers. You also worked in the library.
Mhm.
That's how you and your husband met.
Yes.
So getting to what happened last night, from what I understand, what you told me was that you were kind of hanging out in the office, or would you call it a game room? Is it more or
No,
less like...
he calls it his office.
He calls it his office,
Yeah.
okay. So you guys were hanging out in the
Yeah,
office.
he was playing Fallout, one of the Fallout games.
Okay. Was it just you and him, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I didn't get a time on that. What time was that when you guys were hanging out?
Well, so yesterday, Tyler, Robert, myself, Robert, and his mom,
Uh-huh.
we had to take some stuff to the dump. So we did a load to the dump.
Okay.
Got back about 3:30ish, I guess, and so of course we were hungry.
Yeah.
You have dump stuff all over, so you got a shower and everything.
Right.
And then we ate dinner, and we ate dinner in his office because we
Okay.
do that sometimes when it's the two of us.
Okay.
You know, and of course I held on to Sebastian, so it was probably we probably started hanging out in there, in the office about 5:30
Okay. And we're talking PM.
in the evening, yes.
Okay.
And then, they gave Sebastian a bath, and, after they bathe him, we always, keep him so that they can have adult time.
Okay.
You know, so that's about 7:30ish.
Okay. So you had the baby from about what time? From about 5:30 till 7-ish? Or did you have the baby from 7 on?
Well, he ate with us, because, you know,
Okay.
when I was eating, he eats with me.
Okay.
So off and on, so
Okay.
about 5, and then after his bath, about 7:30.
Okay.
And I had, you know, he hung out with me and Robert
And this is
for about an hour. The big one,
The big one. What's his name?
Sebastian.
Sebastian. Oh, okay. How old's Sebastian?
He's 20 months,
20 months.
and baby is 6 days.
And so were you all kind of hanging out in the office? Like Tyler and... No, just, okay.
No, Tyler and Lizzie, they get to, they go outside and stuff.
Okay, no, that's fine, yep. Again, we're not here for that.
So, I mean, I don't know how else to,
Yeah. Okay, so you guys ate dinner sometime between 5:30ish. You guys were hanging out in the office. At some point, you guys had Sebastian with you.
yeah,
Okay. Probably around 7:30ish. Okay. And then you made mention earlier at the house that your husband wanted some pie.
yes.
About what time do you think that was?
8:39.
Okay.
I end up losing track of time.
Okay.
You know,
But if you had to approximate, it was probably around that
Yeah,
time.
8:39.
Okay. You said you went and you warmed him up some pie.
Right.
You had some pie too?
Oh yeah, we share.
Okay. What kind of pie was it?
Well, he had made a really good macadamia nut pie.
Oh, that sounds good.
And it was really good. And he made a pumpkin pie, so it was both.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So then, and you ate that in the office?
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys said that you guys went to bed later.
Right.
So pie and stuff was probably around 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Right. We did have a drink,
Okay. What did you have to drink?
gin and ginger ale.
Okay, both of you?
Yes.
Just one drink?
Mm-hmm.
Each of you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And about a shot? Like a comment, like just a
Yeah.
regular? Okay. Okay. And then you said that you went to bed around 11 p.m., sometime between 11 p.m. and midnight.
Right.
Does that sound about right? Okay. But when you, so now that's kind of one of those things where I need to fill in the gap.
Okay.
So between 11 and 12 p.m., you said
He
you went.
was ready to go to bed.
He was ready to go to
So,
bed, but
yeah.
you wanted to stay
I
up a little
wanted
bit.
to stay up a
Okay.
little bit.
So you guys, at some point, did you move from the office to the? Did he move from the office to the bedroom? How did
Yeah,
what happened?
yes,
Okay.
I walked his,
Walked him over to the bedroom. Okay, from the office. And you said something to the effect that he was complaining of some pain
yes,
somewhere.
yeah.
Describe that again.
It's just, it hurts. I'm like, what?
Uh-huh.
You know, because he, one day it's his elbow, and one day it's this, he kind of,
Okay.
so I was like, what hurts? What hurts?
And did he tell you?
Not at that time, no.
Okay, he just said it hurts. Was he pointing to anything when he said it hurts? Okay, and you didn't inquire any further than what you just said? You
Yeah.
asked him and he didn't explain?
He didn't explain.
Okay. Okay, so then moving forward from there, You said sometime between midnight and possibly 2 a.m. So you were, from that point, so from the time he went to bed, you laid on the couch and you said you're on Facebook
Right.
or social
whatever,
media, whatever,
yeah.
okay?
And I did fall asleep on the couch.
Okay, so you fell asleep for a short time
Right.
period, okay? Okay, and then you went, at some point you went back to the bedroom. Now, what was the purpose of going to the bedroom at that point? Were you going to go to sleep in the bed, or what was the plan?
I had to pee.
You had to pee. Okay, so you were going in there to use the restroom,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And what happened then?
And that's when I saw the blood.
And was he awake or sleeping when you saw the blood?
He was awake because it's like, it hurt. Again, he said that's when he said it hurt again. And I took his shirt off, which you guys have, the shirt and the jacket, and I cleaned him up. And I'm like, what did you do? What did you do?
Uh-huh. And what did he say?
He used a steak knife.
He said that?
Yeah.
So it's like, if you were to do your best to quote what he said to you, what exactly did he say to you at that point? He's saying it hurts, and you said, what did you do?
Yeah.
And then what did he say?
And that's when I saw the blood.
Okay.
And he goes like this. I said, what did you do? What did you do? And he, does the whole gesture.
Uh-huh.
And when, where, what? And that's when he said he used the steak knife.
Okay. Okay.
And that's when he tinkled the bed.
Okay. Okay.
And since he peed, I went back to the couch.
Okay. So let me move back a little bit. I'm going to be kind of back and forth
That's
here.
fine.
I'm just trying to get this timeline down so it makes a little sense to us. Okay, so let's go back. You fell asleep on the couch, got up sometime between 12 and 2 a.m.-ish. You went to go use the restroom, and that's when you noticed you saw some blood. Did you see the blood first, or did you hear him say it hurts again?
I heard him say it hurts again.
And then you saw the blood?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's when you asked, okay, what did you do? He gestured like he stabbed himself, and you said when, what, or why, and he just said a steak knife. And then earlier you had mentioned that you had left the room again. So earlier when I talked to you, you said sometime between 12 and 2 that's when you saw the blood, and you saw that he cut himself. He didn't say why at that point.
No.
And then I have in my notes that you said that you, around 3 a.m., you came back in and kind of took his shirt off and noticed he'd wet the bed and cleaned him up a little bit. So did that happen on separate, or does that happen at the same?
That's the same.
That's all in the same time.
That's all in the same time frame. Sorry.
Okay. So.
It's all.
Okay. So we would move that time frame sometime between 12 and 3 a.m.
Yeah.
that all this was happening. Okay. So you'd fallen asleep, you went to use the restroom sometime between 12 and 3 a.m. You see all this. You ask him what happens. He says, steak knife. He didn't say why.
No.
You clean him up. And again, you told me you used a washcloth. Where is that washcloth now?
It was in the bathroom.
Okay, in the bathroom. Okay. And what did you do with his shirt?
I took it off and I checked it, and you guys found it.
Okay, so you took his shirt off. It would have still been in the bed somewhere, or where was it at when you took it off? Do you remember where you placed it?
I checked it so it was between the dresser and the tub of clothes.
Okay.
So,
Okay,
'cause I
so
just
somewhere
kinda,
over by the dresser,
you're in a
pull it
hurry,
off and
just-
kind of threw it over. Okay. And you notice he wet the bed. Earlier too, you said that the injuries looked superficial.
Yeah.
They didn't look like deep or anything like that.
When I saw them, they didn't.
Okay.
I know I'm not a medical professional.
Yeah. Okay. Were they bleeding? And I know this is hard, but I gotta ask the hard questions.
I know.
How bad were they bleeding when you saw them?
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
When you mean not bad, was there just a little bit of blood coming out, or were they bleeding at all, or?
Just a little bit of blood, like when you wash dishes and you cut yourself.
Okay, so it's just
something.
kind of
That's how it looks.
just kind of oozing out a little bit, or just kind of
Yes.
slowly coming out, but
Yes.
not squirting. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
nothing
Nothing like that. Okay. So he was bleeding. Okay.
And you guys saw the blood on the bed.
Yeah.
That's not,
Yeah. There's not a lot of blood on
That's
that.
not
yeah.
a lot of blood.
Yeah. Okay. So, did you guys discuss, like, getting any medical attention at that point, or what did he say about any of it? Did he?
He didn't say anything. That's the thing, is he really didn't say anything.
Okay. And you didn't like question him further, like, why are you doing this? Why did you cut yourself? Type of thing. Okay.
I didn't.
But he did say it hurt. He was
It
saying
hurt.
earlier that it
It
hurt.
hurt.
It hurt. Okay.
I didn't ask a lot of questions. I didn't,
Okay. When do you think this happened? When do you think that the lacerations occurred? When do you think?
had to be before he went to bed around 11 or midnight. Cause
So sometime like after pie and
Yeah.
sometime before bed?
yeah.
Okay. But to be clear, you didn't see him do this?
I didn't see him do it.
Okay. Okay. And the others were asleep.
Yeah, the kids were asleep.
Now I know you said that they gave you Sebastian around 7:30.
Which is normal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's our routine.
Yeah. And earlier you said they went to bed, so Tyler and Lizzie and the little ones
Yeah.
would have all laid down somewhere. You said earlier around 8:30. Is
Yeah,
that correct?
about that time,
Around
yeah.
somewhere around there. These are all approximate times. You're not exact.
Because Tyler, they have like, like I said, our routine. And I know I need to wear this, but
No, it's okay. You can pull that off if you need to. I have to wear it, but if you feel more comfortable with it off, I'm okay with that.
it's because I can't tell if I want to throw up.
Well, if you need to,
Which is why that's
it's right there. Yeah.
Yeah, so because that's like our routine, I spend time with we spend time with the littles in the evening so that they can have adult time without the kids.
Yeah.
That's because that's important.
Yeah.
And so, Tyler has to take meds, because of his head injury and stuff.
Yeah.
And they knock him out. They make him go to sleep. So,
Okay.
and so yeah, it was about 8:30, I guess, that they went to bed. 8:30.
Okay. And when he's out, he's out.
Yeah,
Okay. What kind of medications is he taking that you know? And if you don't know, that's okay. I can ask him. But
you'll have to ask. him.
okay.
I can't
But something
tell
pretty
you.
strong because it knocks him out.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So then, moving forward, you mentioned that since he had wet the bed, you weren't going to sleep in the bed.
No, I went back to the couch.
You went back to the couch. Okay. And then about what time did you get up?
5.
Around 5 a.m. Okay. And then what? Where'd you go from there?
I went to the room, and
Went to
that's
the
when
room.
I found him.
And were you going to the room to check on him, or
To
just to
check
go to
on him.
bed, or what? Okay, so you went to check on him, and so now this is the part that I also need some help with. So when you found him, again, these are difficult. I understand that they are. So take your time if you need to. How did you find him when you went in there at 5?
He was face down.
Okay.
He was, the school laptop that was in there.
Uh-huh.
He was his face down on there.
So his face was on that. Okay.
Yeah, and he was on the ground, of course, and he was cold. And at first, I didn't think much about the cold because when I go to sleep, my
Uh-huh.
body temperature rises.
Yeah.
He hibernates.
So he likes to
gets
be cold. He likes to be in the cold.
He gets
Yep.
cold
Okay.
when he goes to sleep.
Okay.
And so I rolled him over,
Uh-huh.
and
Take your time. Here's some. Too.
he had puke.
Okay.
eyes. I called 911,
Okay.
but I had to roll him over. Just, you know, what if it's just that he was cold?
Yeah. So at 5, I'm just going to reiterate, you went to go check on him. You woke up around 5, went to go inside, and you see him on the floor. Was his body blocking the entrance to get in? Were you able to get in?
I was able to get in.
Like the door opened
Yeah.
far enough that you could get in?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was that way because he was that close because I rolled him over.
So when you rolled him,
So-
you rolled him towards the door? Is that right? Or
Yeah, because it was, you know, here's the bed,
Uh-huh.
and he was like,
Okay, so he was
Literally,
lying
like-
next to the bed. Okay.
there was no other, I had
So you rolled him towards the door. Okay. And you noticed he was cold. Did you notice any blood at that point?
in his injuries. No.
Or anywhere else? No? Okay.
No.
So then you called the police. Call 911. Okay. And did you move, aside from moving him over like that, did you do anything else, like move him or move anything else in the room? When we found the laptop, it was on the bed. Was that?
Oh, I probably did move it.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Did you clean anything up? Because you said he had vomit. Was there vomit on the laptop at all, or where was the vomit? Just in his mouth? In and around his mouth? Okay, because we didn't really see much of that when he was lying
Well, that's 'cause-
on that.
You know,
Did you clean that up a little bit? Okay. What did you use to clean that up with? I'm sorry.
probably my disgusting hand.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't even remember, but I know I cleaned it up.
Okay. So you may have wiped him up a little bit. What about
Just
him?
the face.
Okay. And you said there was or wasn't any on the laptop?
No.
There wasn't
I
any on
didn't
there?
notice any.
Okay. Okay.
I didn't notice any.
Okay. That's okay. I'm again, I'm trying to be as thorough as I can, and I want things to add up and make sense.
Right.
Okay. You mentioned earlier, since you've been together, so you guys got married in September. How long had you known each other prior to that? Or how long had you dated prior to that?
Prior to getting married?
Yes, yep.
9 months.
9 months?
Yeah. We started dating in December.
Okay.
9 months. That is how long Heather and Robert knew each other before they got married. They met at a library. They dated through the end of 2019 and into 2020. And on September 5th, 2020, in the middle of a pandemic, when the world was already turned upside down, they got married. 3 months later, Robert was dead on the bedroom floor. The detective is asking about their history for a reason. Because in 9 months and 3 months of marriage, you do not always see the full picture of who you married. But detectives are starting to piece together a picture of their own. And it looks nothing like the story Heather has been telling since she called 911.
Okay. And since the time you have known him or that you've been with him, he's made no mention of any suicide, or he's had no suicidal tendencies or ideations.
No.
He hasn't been,
Not since we've been together, no.
and he's not on any medication for depression or anything like that
No.
that you know of? Okay. And you've made mention now, that's twice you said since you've been together. So you're just saying that, as far as you know, since you've known him, you don't have any. There was no indicators of suicide or anything like that.
No.
Okay. Or self-harm or anything like that. Okay. And I asked you too earlier if you guys had gotten into any type of argument the night before.
No.
No argument, no fight or anything like that. Okay.
No. That's why I don't understand. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
I don't know what happened.
Okay.
You know, just like when we were eating and we're talking and he's like, I finally found my person. What do you mean? Well, you married me and he has Asperger's. Well,
Yeah.
Asperger's, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I love you, you know?
Yeah.
And we were talking about how, like, we finally found our person.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know.
Would you say he seemed happy last night going to bed? There was no issues.
So happy. He's been happy.
Okay.
He's been so happy, and like, you should see him with the littles.
Yeah.
He loved them.
Yeah.
You know, and adored little Rosie.
Yeah. Okay.
Adored her. She was his baby.
Yeah.
I mean, not
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
obviously not. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? And
And you'd said that you guys didn't really ever argue, is what you
no,
said. Yeah.
never,
Okay.
never.
Okay. And there wasn't anything that occurred either last night or even sometime earlier in this morning where either you or Tyler and Lizzie had gotten loud at all?
No.
Like even if they were just like playing around or playing video games or doing whatever,
No.
nobody was really
you
loud.
See how loud Sebastian is.
Uh-huh.
Insane.
Yeah.
He's not that loud when the parents are around though.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Yeah, well, you seem like normal. That just seems normal to me.
Yeah.
I have had 4 kids, and believe me, I know how they can be.
Right.
So it's just
No,
kids being
like,
kids.
We had a good day. We took care of stuff. We, finished up this stuff in the yard and took it all to the dump.
Yeah.
Nothing. And we were gone a good majority of the day.
Yeah.
And then we took Tyler to do an odd job because he can't work, but he
Uh-huh.
he wanted a little bit of cash for
Yeah.
Christmas.
Uh-huh.
So we took him to do an odd job, and they brought him home. Nothing.
And he seemed okay. Tyler seemed okay.
Yeah. And Tyler and Robert,
When you say they brought him home, who brought him home?
His friend.
Okay.
Whoever that is. I mean,
Yeah. Okay. How well did Tyler and Robert get along?
beautifully.
Okay. They never had any issues, anything like that.
No.
And Lizzie and Robert got along okay. There wasn't anything wrong there.
I mean, she's lazy, but
Uh-huh.
that's my issue.
She's lazy.
She's so lazy.
Okay.
So that's my issue. So it didn't,
Yeah.
it didn't bother him.
Yeah. Okay.
And when, we were, we'd all put our headphones in and
Uh-huh.
listen to our books and go about cleaning or whatever.
Yeah.
And, it was,
Okay.
yeah. Tyler was his best man at our wedding.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know?
But they never fought or argued or
Never.
anything like that? Okay.
Never. No, never.
Okay. Huh. Okay.
I don't know.
Do you want some water or something? Would you be okay with, you want some water?
Water would be good.
Okay. So, one couple of things I didn't ask before too, just trying to think of things so I don't leave anything out, but when you, I'm trying to figure out, when you guys were all done in the office, like when you guys were ready for bed, did you guys leave the office together? Did he leave before you to go to bed?
We left the office together, and I got him in bed, and I went downstairs and messed around on my phone.
Okay, so you walked him to the bedroom.
Yes.
Okay. All right. he initially complained of some chest pain.
I didn't see anything, and he, you know.
You weren't concerned about that because he has some other pain or something like that that he
Yeah.
complains of sometimes?
Yeah, well, like I told you, we were at the dump, and we had like a lot of insulation and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, you're chucking it, and I don't know if it was like he breathed it in
Uh-huh.
or, you know, so, and he, you know, often complains about pain.
Uh-huh.
Big old man, and everything was always hurting.
Okay.
His feet, his ankles, his elbows, his head, his, you know, he had
Okay.
a lot of pain.
Okay. Okay, so then when you did find him in the bedroom, when you went back in later and noticed he had some injuries and that he had wet the bed, where was he laying in the bed? Was he laying to like, do you guys like have a certain side of the bed that you lay on?
His side is right, this side by the door.
This is the closest to the door? Okay, and was he laying in there? How was he
On
laying
his-
on there?
On his side,
Laying on his side, left side or right side?
the right side.
So he's lying on his right side. Is he right-handed?
Yes.
Okay. And how did you notice that he had wet the bed? I guess is my question. Did you, were the covers off of him, or you put your hand in it? Okay. Were you getting ready to, I mean, how did that happen? Because were you gonna go, were you gonna
I was
try to?
gonna go to bed.
You were gonna go get in bed? Okay, so you went to go climb over him, or what? I mean, explain.
Yeah.
Okay. You felt something wet in the bed, and then, so then, did you notice he wet the bed first, or was he bleeding first? What did you notice first?
That's me buzzing, sorry. The bleeding.
You noticed he was bleeding first?
I'm trying to
Okay.
think back. Sorry. It's all just a cluster mess in my head.
Okay.
Please
So-
understand, it's a mess in my head.
Okay, that's okay. So if this is the bedroom, and the bed is, if I remember, it's kind of up against the wall,
Yeah,
or,
yeah.
or close to the wall.
Up against the wall, yeah.
Okay, and so he would have been lying on this side.
Yes.
Okay. Where was he on the bed? Was he like up high, down low, halfway on, halfway off, or just lying like normal? Okay. So like a normal person would lie in the bed. Okay. And oops. Did so you saw him bleeding first, and then you went to climb into the bed?
Mm-hmm.
And you put your hand in what you felt, it was urine?
Oh, it's urine, that's right by him.
Okay. So then, but he wasn't awake at that time, is what you said earlier.
Right, right.
And did you wake him up at all during that process? Because you said, let me go back on that. Sometime between midnight and 3, you went in, you saw the blood, felt the urine, and I guess he did wake up because you said that he had said he cut himself at that point.
Yeah.
So explain to me, so you said you cleaned him up?
Yeah. Well, I remember I took his shirt off.
Uh-huh.
And I cleaned. They didn't, you know.
What was he saying at this point when you cleaned him up?
He wasn't saying anything.
But he was awake?
More or less, I mean.
What do you mean, more or less?
Was he completely coherent? No, if that's what you're asking.
Okay. Were you concerned about that?
Well, he was asleep.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
And you said when you cleaned up his wounds, it kind of looked like the blood kind of was oozing, but not squirting out.
Right. It didn't. I mean, they didn't look He didn't look like threatening.
Okay.
I'm sorry, they didn't look that. And I know I'm not a medical professional, and I know I failed, and I should have called.
Heather just said it herself. I'm not a medical professional. But here is what the detective already knows, and Heather doesn't know he knows. She is a school teacher. She has taken CPR and first aid courses multiple times. She has been trained specifically to recognize when someone needs emergency help. And she is sitting in front of a detective telling him that she looked at her husband's stab wounds, decided they didn't look that deep, cleaned them up with a washcloth, and went back to sleep on the couch. A woman trained to spot warning signs in 8-year-olds somehow missed them in the man bleeding in her own bed. The detective is writing all of this down, every word.
So aside from taking his shirt off, did you change any other clothing
No.
or anything like that?
No.
And at that point, did you move him onto his back or anything, or is he still on his side? I mean, explain to me what happened there.
I had to move him on his back so I could clean it, right?
Okay. The office. Tell me about the office. What is in the office? What will we find in there?
Oh, Chizo. Computers. Computer stuff. All kinds of technology crap. Bullets for his gun. I think they're in there. A dresser with some of my winter clothes.
And so I noticed there was a
Shit.
holster in the bedroom. Does he have a firearm?
Mm-hmm.
Where's that at?
It's in our room,
Uh-huh.
on top of that shelf, in like a cash box.
Oh, okay, that lockbox?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's like a little, like a pouch, a red pouch that, like our headphones came in,
Mhm.
these headphones, and that's where the keys to the box are.
Oh, okay.
And it's like a couple shelves down, I think.
Okay. Okay. So I just want to make sure I get it right. So you said he was more or less awake, but not completely coherent.
Yeah.
But that was the same time you said that when you asked him what happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
Mm-hmm. And that's when he said, he did that, and he said steak knife.
So he gestured and said steak knife.
Mm-hmm.
Did you take it as he meant that he did it to himself?
Mm-hmm.
So he was awake enough to at least say that?
Yes.
Okay. So on the computers, what all is on those computers? You gaming? What else might be on there?
Oh yeah, there's gaming. You'll find some pictures
Like what are we talking about?
of us.
Like what do you mean? You have to explain that to me. Are we talking like naked pictures?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Were you guys both into that type of thing?
Only with each other,
Okay.
obviously.
So there'll be those, but there won't be any pictures of anybody else on there. Just you and him, probably. Is there any other? Like, I guess what I'm getting at is there any other type of pornography on the computer that we need to be aware of?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Not that you know of. And it's not really an issue unless it's something that
Right.
is illegal. Is there any like child pornography or anything
No.
like that on there?
No.
Okay. What types of things are we going to see on there?
Like what do you mean?
Well, we're adults. You can tell me. I'm like, what are you guys into? Like, what are you guys?
You'll just see pictures of us, and you'll see a couple videos, and because he likes to watch.
Okay.
Liked, I should say.
Okay. I mean, were you guys into like any type like of like BDSM or anything like that type of stuff?
No, but you'll find all kinds of shit in the top drawer of my room.
Like what type of stuff?
Toys and stuff.
Okay. You know what I'm talking about with like BDSM
Yes,
and all
I
that
do.
stuff. You guys didn't like to tie each
No.
other up or hurt each other or anything
Nope.
like that?
Nope.
That wasn't
Nope.
your thing? Your
Nope.
guys' thing? His thing or your thing?
It wasn't his thing.
Okay. Your thing?
Years and years and years and years and years and years and years, even years ago.
Okay.
Like close to 30 years ago.
Okay. I don't know. We may come back to that. So I'm just kind of thinking of different things here.
You're gonna come back to the porn?
Well, maybe, I don't know. I just, like you mentioned, like the BDSM stuff, we may come back to that. I don't know. But what I am thinking right now, though, is, so when you walked into the office, oh, and earlier, too, you mentioned that you guys only had one drink. Did you have more than that to drink?
Yeah.
How much, so be honest with me, how much did you guys have to drink that night?
I don't know how much he had to drink. I
Okay.
had 2 drinks.
Okay, 2 drinks. You mentioned earlier was gin and ginger ale.
Gin and ginger ale, yeah.
Is that what you had before, too?
Yeah.
What does he like to drink?
Well, he'll drink it like this and then chase it with soda.
Okay. How much did you see him drink?
I really didn't pay a lot of attention because he'll put it in a coffee cup. You know?
Okay. So you guys been together pretty much over a year, about a year or so. Can you tell when he's been drinking?
Oh, yeah.
You know, when he's drunk or hit
Oh,
that
yeah.
kind of that
Oh, yeah.
threshold? Was he at that threshold last night? Was he drunk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Watch what just happened. For almost 40 minutes, Heather has been the careful, composed, grieving wife. Precise times, precise details, 1 drink each, a normal evening. And then the detective asks about alcohol one more time, and she admits it. 2 drinks for her. Robert was drunk. She knew he was drunk. She walked him to the bedroom because he needed help getting there. It is a small thing, but it is the first crack. Because the person who lies about small things, about how many drinks were poured on the last night of her husband's life, is also the person who might be lying about much bigger things. And detectives are paying very close attention now.
How come you didn't tell me this before?
It's not something I'm proud of.
Well, there's nothing wrong with having drinks and getting a little silly, you know, every once in a while, getting drunk every once in a while. There's nothing wrong with that. Unless it's a problem. Is this a problem?
No.
Okay. This isn't. Do you guys drink heavily on a regular basis or just on an occasional basis?
Occasional.
Okay. And last night was one of those occasions.
Mm-hmm.
So how come you say you're not proud of it? You don't like drinking, or what's with that?
I'm just not proud of it. I had stopped for a really, really, really long time.
Uh-huh.
You know? And a few years back, with my ex-husband, we would occasionally drink, and it just, you know, and I was really proud that I hadn't for a long time. It just kind of sucks, you know.
So don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to make assumptions, but it sounds to me like maybe it was an issue before, that you had maybe a problem with alcohol before? Is that a safe?
Oh yeah, that's safe to say.
Okay. And so then you quit for a while, and when did you start drinking again?
About 6 years ago,
Okay.
7 years ago, 6, 7 years ago.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for being honest about that. I mentioned before, you know, some of the things we check as toxicology, we would have known if it was more than just a drink that he had. So that'll be easy to show. So that's something that I appreciate. And that's all. And that's what we're looking for in all these interviews, is just some corroborating facts. okay? So again, thank you for that. So when he went to bed, how come you didn't just go to bed with him and lay down and like look at do your social media and Facebook there in the bed? How come you didn't go to bed with him?
Well, because I have ruined many pairs of glasses laying down on my phone or reading a book, and I just got these.
Okay.
I just really wasn't ready to go to bed.
Okay.
How's that for an answer?
Okay. Sorry. Okay, so you mentioned what we might find in the office.
Yeah, lots of clothes, mostly my clothes, lots of technology crap. His computer.
So let me ask this. So after you guys, it sounded like you guys spent quite a bit of time together that evening.
We always spend a lot of time in the office together. That's kind of one of the things we do.
Okay, so you guys were in there for a while. At some point you
That's how I lost track of time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's how I lost track of time.
Okay. So at some point though you said you did leave him for a time to go get some pie, to warm up some pie for you and him.
Yeah, I did that.
And then when you came back, had you left him at all after that, or you guys spend the rest of the evening together in the room, in that office before going to bed?
We spent the rest of the evening together. I'm sure I went to the bathroom because, you know, when you drink, you have to pee.
Yeah.
And so my head can't wrap around when he had time to do this. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, because that's what I'm getting at. That's the question. So if you guys had pie and you guys spent most of the evening together, you may have left to go to the bathroom once or twice, or maybe, I don't know,
Yeah.
or even if at all, but at some point you guys retired to different rooms, him to the bedroom and you to the couch. I'm just trying to figure out when this occurred.
That's me. I don't know. I don't know.
You're saying, though, that he was complaining of pain as you're going to bed. Okay.
I know I failed. I know that.
Well, so my concern, ma'am, obviously is this is not normal.
I know.
Even for a suicide, this is a little strange. If that's what we're calling it. If we're calling it a suicide, it's strange. And things don't add up and I'll tell you why they're not adding up to me, okay? Because he was happy, according to you. You guys are happy. There were no signs of any unhappiness or any suicidal ideations or anything like that. He didn't mention to anybody. From all accounts, everybody thought that he's pretty happy.
Yes.
And even if he was hiding something from you, you guys said that, you know, the conversation you had earlier in the evening is that you found your person, you found that special someone in your life. And he even said that, right? He said that to you. Okay? So obviously you meant a lot to him. I don't, you know, we do a lot of these death investigations, and some of them are suicides, and when somebody means a lot to somebody else, often they'll leave a note, okay? We're not seeing one, we don't see a note, we don't see any reason why he would do this.
I know
So
how I feel.
So that doesn't make a lot of sense to us, okay? And then the way it happened doesn't make a lot of sense either, okay? He has stab wounds to his upper chest area. So that's strange to us. We don't know where the weapon is that was used.
One of the guys found it.
How do you know that's it, though?
Oh, well, I don't know. I thought that's what he said.
Okay.
So,
I mean, you said steak knife because he told you steak knife.
yeah.
Okay. So I don't want to jump to any
Right.
conclusions here, but we don't know. And why if he did that to himself, would he hide it or put it away somewhere? That just doesn't make sense, right? Okay, so there's all these things.
I know. How do you think I feel?
And then on top of that, you check in on him, and he's obviously has something wrong with him. He's not completely coherent. Of course, that could be chalked up to some of the drinking, but that could also
Right.
be chalked up to he has a major injury. And nothing's done. We don't know. Nobody calls an ambulance. Nobody follows up and says there should be something. Even if, at the very least, ma'am, you got to look at this.
I understand. I know. I failed. I fucking failed,
I'm
and
not
I
saying
know
that.
that.
I'm not saying that anybody failed. I'm just saying that.
It looks messed up.
Yeah, he.
I understand. Please know I understand.
Even if these injuries, and we don't know the extent of these injuries. Maybe these injuries are superficial. I don't know. But even if those injuries are superficial, at the very least, it's a cry for help if he did this to himself, right? And as a teacher, one of the things you're taught to look for is, like, even with students that are crying out for help and stuff like that, they should, you know what I mean?
I know.
That's a warning sign. So I have some major concerns with that. I have some major concerns that you cleaned him up and took that shirt off and cleaned him up, then leave him that time again too. That would have been the perfect time to call someone.
I know. Yeah, I told you. I know.
Okay. So that's some of the biggest concerns, is that his body's been manipulated in some form or way. The weapon that was used in this has been manipulated in some sort of way. I don't think you're a bad person. Okay? I can tell in your eyes that you're
But you think I did?
a good person, but things are not adding up. I think you're not. I think you have more to tell me, right?
I don't have anything else to say. I have nothing left. I've told you all I have. I have nothing left. Nothing.
The detective just said something that cannot be unsaid. He's been through the house. He's looked at the evidence. And what he is telling Heather right now, carefully, without accusation, is that someone moved things, someone cleaned things, someone made deliberate choices after Robert died about what to leave and what to hide. And the only person in that house who was awake, the only person who could have done any of that, is sitting right across from him. Watch Heather's response. She doesn't ask what was moved. She doesn't ask what was cleaned. She just says, I have nothing left. Nothing. Which is exactly what someone says when they know they have already said too much.
Okay. One of the things, we have a responsibility, not just to you and to your husband, to make sure that we do this correctly, but we have an obligation to his family too.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And honestly, I just want to know. I want to know what happened to him.
I do too.
I think you do know. Honestly, I think you know what
I
happened.
didn't do this.
And if you do know what happened, let's just hear me out. I think you know what happened, and
I did not do this. I did not see this happen. I did not do this. I'm not a bad person. I'm not.
I mean, it doesn't make sense.
He's 6'3".
Mhm.
How would I be able to hurt him like that?
I don't know, but that's what I'm trying to figure out. everything I've seen, it's from what I'm seeing, I don't think this is self-inflicted.
You think I did this?
I have not, I haven't come out and said that to you.
Okay.
But if he didn't do it to himself, somebody did. And there's not very many people in that house that would
Right.
be capable of doing this.
Right.
Or would have reason to.
Right.
Okay? So that's what I'm trying to understand. You all said that you didn't have any. Well, let me back up again. When you called the police, when you found him, when he was unresponsive, right before calling the police,
Right.
when he was on the floor, did you? What did you do? I mean, were you hysterical? Did you
Of course
scream,
you're
cry? What happened?
hysterical. I rolled him over.
Uh-huh.
I rolled him over
Yeah.
because, you know, like I told you, I thought he was cold. I thought it was cold.
Okay. I know, but did you,
No, excuse me.
it's okay. Did you yell or anything? Did you yell out for your son to come help you or anything like
I
that?
called 911.
Okay.
I called 911. It's the first thing I did.
Call everyone. You didn't raise your voice or anything though, or anything like that, or scream
No,
or
it's
anything
the
like
babies.
that? Okay. So, there's something I haven't told you.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to tell you now. But we spoke to some of your neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
They actually heard yelling. They heard a male and a female's voice yelling from your house early in the morning. How do you explain that?
I don't remember yelling.
Okay, but you all said that you never argue.
We don't argue.
Okay, so who was yelling last night?
I don't know.
Because if Tyler and Lizzie went to bed at
Uh-huh.
8:30,
But if
9:30
we were
o'clock,
yelling, they would have heard it. Tyler and Lizzie would have heard it.
Tyler says he sleeps like the dead when he's in there.
And Lizzie would have heard it. If
Okay.
we were yelling, they would have heard it.
Okay, well, I'm just telling you
Okay.
what we have. There's somebody not involved in your household that is a witness to something that occurred last night, and they heard yelling. And it was early in the morning. We're not talking about when everybody was awake. We're talking about when possibly only you and your husband could have been awake. Okay? And you don't have an explanation for that.
No, I don't remember yelling at him. I don't remember us fighting.
Okay, is there a possibility that you guys and this is time to be honest. Is there any reason why you guys would have been fighting last night?
No.
Okay, was there something that he did
No.
that you haven't told us
Nothing.
that he used to do to you or would do to you
No.
that you
Nothing.
didn't like?
Nothing. I walked in on him watching porn once.
What kind was he looking at?
Meaning,
I mean, was it like? Are we talking like
he
something?
likes to watch BJ's. It's so gross.
Okay, but it's not something that was illegal or
No,
something that
no.
you shouldn't have been watching.
No.
Okay, how did that make you feel when you walked in on him? And when did this happen?
Back in June.
In June. Okay, so
Well,
before you guys were married.
Right. Well, it pissed me off, of course. It pissed me off because I was like, really? And so, so we started watching some together.
Okay.
Just nothing awkward or weird or
Uh-huh.
nothing.
Okay, so you catch him back in June looking at porn. This was unknown. You didn't know about any of this before that. Kind of pissed you off, but then you guys agreed to start watching
Occasionally, yes.
porn together.
Mhm.
Okay. But that was never an issue later on.
No.
Was there something else that upset you about that? Was there
No.
some other fetish or something that he had that you didn't
No.
want? Okay. See, I mean, from what you're telling me, that doesn't sound like like an issue, you know, as far as what you're saying.
Yeah. No, did I get pissed off then? Absolutely.
What did you do when you got mad? When you got pissed off?
I got pissed.
Well, when you get pissed, did you just yell at him, or did it become physical?
I'm not a physical person.
Okay.
I am not a physical person.
It's never gotten physical between you and your husband?
Nope.
That you can remember?
It's never gotten physical between us.
What about with you and Tyler? Anything ever gotten physical?
Oh,
between
Tyler
you?
and I?
Uh-huh.
We're two peas in a pod.
Uh-huh.
You know.
So what does that mean? You mean it hasn't, you've never gotten in a fight with Tyler at all, or?
Oh, when he was younger.
Uh-huh. What about since he's moved back with you?
No.
No?
I mean, we have argued a few times because, you know, he'll wake up and he'll be in a bad mood or whatever, and then he'll take it out on everybody, and I'm like, I won't even have my coffee yet. I'll tell him to just shut up, just shut up, just shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Have you ever punched him?
No.
And you've never, not, and I know I keep asking, but no physical fight between you and your husband?
As big as he is compared to me, he could crush me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just because there's not a fight doesn't mean he doesn't fight back. You know, there's plenty of that where one spouse may hit another and the other one doesn't hit back or fight back.
All right.
Okay. So, I guess I'm a little concerned with the part where you cleaned him up. If you didn't have anything to do with his injuries, why are you cleaning him up?
Because I wanted to look at them. I wanted to see them.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. And so when you clean them up, you, according to your statement, you didn't think they were that bad,
I did.
but there was still blood coming out of them.
Just like a little. It wasn't like blood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You guys saw the bed. There's not a lot of blood.
Yeah. His shirt had quite a bit of blood on it. The shirt that you pulled off of him, the T-shirt, not necessarily the outer shirt, the outer sweatshirt, but the T-shirt had quite a bit on it.
So I just yanked that off. With the holes in the shirt?
I don't know. I don't know about that. I didn't get it. We haven't really looked at all that. That's part of the reason why we're looking for a search warrant. But
You still haven't got the search warrant?
yeah, I'm not sure where they are on that. I know you made the comment earlier, you know, how do you think I feel about this? I don't know. Explain to me, how does all this, how do you feel about all this?
Lost. Broken. There's no words. I lost my best friend. What do you do? I'm numb. None of it makes sense. I can't align any of it in my head and my heart. I just don't fucking know.
So I'm with you on a lot of that. None of it makes sense. We wouldn't be here right now if it did make sense.
I understand.
Okay. I'm just curious. I don't know how he makes it from the office to the bedroom without you realizing that he's hurt. Oh, yep. Oh, sorry.
This is the question that has been sitting underneath every other question this entire interrogation. If Robert stabbed himself in the computer room, if he was bleeding badly enough to die from those wounds, how did he walk down the hallway to the bedroom without Heather seeing anything? Without leaving blood in the hallway? Without her noticing that her husband of 3 months was dying right in front of her? The detective doesn't push it. He just lets it sit there. Because there is no good answer, and Heather knows it.
Let me see if they need some. I know you mentioned, just listening to you talk to your son at the house, you had talked about you're kind of worried about moving forward at this point. Like what you're gonna do. Does he have a living will or anything like that you know of? Any type of benefits with like with the military or anything like
Not that
that?
I know of,
Burial, stuff
no.
like that? Any life insurance or anything like that? Nothing like that? No. Okay. So you have to understand our concern on this, okay? There are things that aren't adding up, okay? And I think you're being honest with me up to a point, but I think there's a little bit you're not telling me, okay? Because you're pretty descriptive going into certain things, and then there's a point where it gets a little vague, or you're avoiding talking to it, okay? And you're making motions like maybe because you were drinking, okay? And I don't discount that.
Right, of course not.
But so before we get into too much further, the other questions I had was after you found him and you're calling the police, did anybody else see him, or
No,
Tyler didn't go in and look at him,
No.
or?
no, not that I think you guys were there before the kids got up.
Okay, so Tyler was just getting up as police came, or
Yes,
something like that?
yes.
Okay, so he didn't have any time to go in and look
No.
and see his condition or anything like that?
No.
Okay. All right, and aside from moving the laptop and moving him, rolling him over,
Right.
did you move anything else?
No.
Okay. Oh, you know what I needed is I wanted to draw a little map real quick. Let me see, actually. Let me go take this in the other room, and let me grab a pen here. I'll be right back. Okay, so I have some concerns, all right? One, you guys are saying that there was no, this is out of the blue. This is coming out of left field, right? Or
Yes.
coming out of right field.
Coming out of crazy.
And
Crazy talk.
there was no indicators prior to this,
No.
okay? You said you were a school teacher for about 7 years?
Yes.
Do they make you take like first aid and stuff like that as a teacher?
Yes.
CPR and first aid and stuff like that? Okay. How often have you had to take that?
Oh, it's been a little while since I've had to take it.
They usually do it like every couple of years though, like when it expires, they have you renew
Yeah.
it and stuff like that? Okay. So, I mean, if you had to do it every 2 years, you probably done it at least, maybe been through that course at least 3 times since you've been a teacher, right? Okay. Do you remember anything about what they teach about, like lacerations and wounds and stuff like that, and wound care and everything like that? Not really?
Well, you know, when you're in that, I just... it all gets lost.
Yeah, okay.
It all just got lost.
Okay.
I'm
So-
sorry.
So we have your husband. He has at least 3, maybe 4 stab wounds. Okay. He's more than likely going to be sent for autopsy. Okay. some things they do in autopsies, they do a number of different tests and stuff like that. Toxicology, stuff like that. So
Right.
they'll be able to corroborate a lot of what you're saying as far as like, was he drinking? Did he have anything else in his system? How did he die? Was it from his injuries? Was it from something else? Some of the things they investigate too is, trajectory of the wound. Can that be self-inflicted or otherwise? They can make a lot of these determinations. Okay. Is there anything that they're going to find in autopsy that's going to contradict what you're telling me in today? No, there shouldn't be. Okay. Was there? I know we've been through this, but he didn't mention anything about suicide or anything But I know that you guys are upset, and this is a very trying
Right.
time for you guys. And sometimes people do things that they wouldn't normally do. So oftentimes people they'll leave a note sometimes, We're not seeing a note. Was there a note that you might have moved or anything like that?
Nothing. I
You
didn't see
anything?
anything. No.
Okay. Okay. So from what you're telling me, he's complaining of chest pain prior to going to bed. Okay, as you guys are moving from the office to the bedroom. Now, you didn't see anything. He didn't make any mention to you.
No.
But so that's telling me that something happened before he went to bed. This all would have had to have happened before he went to bed. If what you're telling me is
Right.
true. Otherwise, there might be something else that we find out later that might be different. But from your statement alone, you're saying that it's pointing towards something happened probably in that office.
Probably.
Okay.
But like I didn't see anything. I don't know when he did this. Sorry. I see nothing. I did not see him do this.
Okay. So I'm a little concerned as well with why you first see his injuries and then don't do anything.
I didn't think they were that bad. I really don't. They didn't look deep.
Okay, but he's
No,
complaining that he's hurting
Right.
prior to bed.
I didn't see him when he went to bed. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
And
Do
but
you know what I mean? I did not see him. I
right, you didn't see the
his
injuries before bed,
shirt
but you
cut
hear
or
him.
anything.
Yeah, but you heard him complain. He said he was hurt, his chest hurt.
Yeah. But he gets like that when he gets his migraines.
Right.
And,
So that's
there's-
understood. But then when you went in the next time, and you find out that he had stabbed himself, or according to him, he said he stabbed himself.
But I thought it was just like a cut.
Uh-huh.
Because I think in his past,
Uh-huh.
he was a cutter.
Okay.
Stop. Heather just introduced something new. She says she thought he was a cutter, that she thought the wounds were just cuts like the ones he might have made on himself before. This is the first time in over an hour of interrogation that she has mentioned anything like this. No history of depression, no suicidal thoughts, no warning sign. That is what she told detectives at the start. And now suddenly there is a history of self-harm that somehow never came up. This is not a detail you forget when your husband of 3 months is lying bleeding in your bed. This is a detail you introduce when you need a new explanation and the old one has stopped working.
So there's these injuries, and he says according to you, he says they're self-inflicted. In any case, that's cause for concern. Okay,
Right.
I would kind of liken it. I'm married. I also have kids. If anyone in my family, if I found that they stabbed themselves, if they said they stabbed themselves with a steak knife, I would be concerned. I would, because I would be concerned that they might have some injuries, okay? And even if they're superficial, my next concern would be, I don't want to leave them so that they can potentially harm themselves again or more. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That doesn't make sense to me.
I know.
So how do you explain that?
Honestly, I didn't think they were that bad.
Uh-huh.
I didn't realize that they were as bad as they were. I didn't realize it.
Okay.
I didn't.
Well,
And
what about the discussion, like after he said he stabbed himself with the steak knife? What then? I mean, you just what happened?
I didn't see any steak knife missing.
Uh-huh.
That's the
Yeah,
thing.
but obviously he cut himself with something. Like, what was? You didn't any further say, why are you doing this?
I didn't.
Let's get you some help.
I'm sorry, I didn't. I failed. I'm sorry. I didn't.
Is there a possibility that Tyler could be involved in this at all?
Absolutely not.
Okay, because you said you didn't see him actually stab himself.
I didn't see him.
Okay.
I did not see it happen.
I mean, Tyler's room's not far from that office.
Right. No, there's not a way in hell Tyler did anything.
Okay. I know that just from previous experience, we even had an officer a while back that was on like some sleep medication. And he did some crazy stuff when he was on that sleep medication. There's no possible way that Tyler could have woke up in the middle of the night, even in a...
Nope.
Even...
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Okay. And the other issue I have with that is why is there not a knife missing? Do you know what I'm saying? If he did this to himself,
Right.
why would he put a knife back?
I don't know. See, that's the thing is I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I know I didn't do this.
Okay.
I did not do this. I love him. Love him. We were talking about how much, like, we're our people. We finally found home.
Yeah.
Finally found home.
It doesn't make any sense?
I know. I don't know.
Okay. Well, let me step out for a second, and I'll be right back. Let me talk to my supervisor and see what they think.
Detectives could not arrest Heather Fernandez that morning. She walked out of the police station,
Do you know why you're here?
and for the next 4.5 years, she went back to her classroom.
So the last time you and I talked
her
was back in
routine,
2020. This
her
has to
life.
do with...
But the
Robert.
investigation
Yes, okay.
never stopped.
So
New evidence
we've
came in.
completed our
Text
investigation. It
messages
took
from
some
the
time 'cause
night
we had
Robert
a lot
died.
to process.
Details about their relationship that
but,
hadn't surfaced the first time.
Our
And
investigation...
on April 1st,
from what we have,
2025,
we know what happened.
the same
okay?
detective who sat
And this is your
across from her in
opportunity to tell us the
2020
truth about what happened.
walked
okay?
into her
Because what you
school
told me last time,
and put
none of
handcuffs
the
on
evidence
her
that
in front of the
we
children she
processed,
taught every day.
matches with
What you
you're
are
telling
about
us.
to watch is that
So
second
I
interrogation.
know what happened to Robert.
Same detective,
I just don't know why it happened
same
to him.
room, but
This is your
this
time to tell me
time
why.
he tells her they know what happened.
Okay.
Watch what she does
We'll
with
get you
that.
up to...
So, Ms. Fernandez, you've been advised of your rights.
Correct.
Do you know why you're here?
Just no.
Okay. So the last time you and I talked was back in 2020. This has to do with your husband,
Yes.
Robert.
Yes.
Okay. So we've completed our investigation. It took some time because we had a lot to process. But our investigation, from what we have, we know what happened. Okay. And this is your opportunity to tell us the truth about what happened, okay? Because what you told me last time, none of the evidence that we processed matches with what you're telling us. So I know what happened to Robert. I just don't know why it happened to him. This is your time to tell me why.
I'm gonna need an attorney.
Okay. All right. We'll get you up to the jail then.
Can I please use my phone real quick to call my boss and my mom?
Yeah, let me find out. Let me make sure that we're going to be able to do that. Otherwise, you'll be able to use it at your numbers and stuff at the
Right.
jail. So
Well, see, because like with my mom, she probably won't answer a number that she does not know.
yeah,
You know how that is.
okay, yeah.
Okay.
Give me a minute.
You know-
I'll be right back. Just hang out.
That is where we leave this for now. If you want to see the full 2025 interrogation, the moment Heather sits back down across from the same detective 5 years later, let us know in the comments. If enough of you are waiting for it, we will cover it the moment more details from the trial become public. Heather Fernandez Hofer was arrested on April 1st, 2025, 4.5 years after Robert Hofer was found dead on the floor of his own bedroom. She was charged with second-degree murder and tampering with evidence. Released on bond the following day. No trial date has been set. Think about what those 4.5 years look like. Robert's family had no answers, no closure, no explanation for why a healthy 49-year-old man with no history of depression, no suicidal thoughts, no reason to harm himself, died of stab wounds 3 months into a marriage he thought was the best thing that had ever happened to him. While his wife went back to sleep on the couch, and Heather went back to her classroom, taught 3rd grade, lived her life, for 4.5 years. Detectives never stopped working. They went back through every piece of evidence, every text message, every inconsistency from that first morning. And when they finally had what they needed, they walked into her school and arrested her in front of the children she taught every day. If convicted of second-degree murder in New Mexico, Heather faces up to 18 years in prison. The tampering charge adds additional time on top of that. Robert Hofer's obituary described him as an avid reader, a chef extraordinaire, and a proud grandfather. It mentioned his love for Heather 3 times. He told her the night he died that he had finally found his person. The trial is still ahead. We will be watching.